When we walked onto this property for the first time, there was a sense of jaw-dropping excitement at the expansiveness of it. Standing on this house site, the views to the north are right across our garden, and then Babington Hill sits in the far north. So whoever lives here can't be built out. So standing here for the first time, it was dreaming into all this. It was understanding what had been here before, the land being farmed and being nurtured by the Dja-Dja-Wurrung for hundreds and thousands of years, and then the farming story, which again went for decades and decades. The wood being cut down and went to Ballarat for the goldfields. All of that is right here, and now it's a beautiful space that has somehow met those dreams that I think I had when I first walked onto the land.
So the front doors, they actually came from an old church in Meredith. One of those beautiful things about the house, you get to touch a door that you know has been touched by thousands of other people as they've kind of come into church, and it has a very particular feel. And so that's kind of the framing for when you come into what we laughingly call the Grand Hall, because it's got this beautiful, spacious feel about it. But even though it feels kind of large and grand, it's actually still very cosy and very homely. Warm in winter, cool in summer because of the design of the house. So you get this lovely feeling of lots of space, but actually also very cosy and comfortable. Our home was basically built around the window. We found the window in a wrecker's yard in Ballarat, and we fell in love with it. It was just sort of the back of an old warehouse and hard to look at and covered in chicken wire and dirt, but there was something about it that really captivated us, and so we took the window home and we kept it for a couple of years, and it was all broken and bent out of shape, and so it sort of formed the centerpiece of the home once we cleaned it up, and everything that we've done really has worked with the window. So when you start to look for recycled materials, which was really a big part of what we're doing, like this house is all about sustainability as well. It's all about how it performs thermally, so it's also about natural materials. So we wanted lots of timber, and so we have a straw bale wall on the south, and we have radially sawn timber on the outside, because all of these are kind of the feel that we were going for. But then when you start to kind of find lost objects, if you like, when you're searching on eBay, you find these really beautiful things that kind of with some TLC come back to life, and they all add to the feel of the house. So even though it's a new house, it's only 10 years old, we wanted it to feel like a place that had been here for a very long time. And we also wanted to love every object in it, every door handle, every light switch. It was really important for us that everything we had a real sense of love for everything we created.
I love the sunroom. The hours one can spend sitting in there just reading, recovering from the day. I completely love every part of this house.
Oh, my favourite space is probably the couch in the green bedroom downstairs. It's a beautiful spot. It gets lots of light throughout the day. Because it's a passive solar house, we get this amazing kind of relationship to the light. So you just get this beautiful experience of being in the light all day, and you can have the doors open and dogs walking in and out, and it's just a lovely spot to sit.
I love the upstairs bedroom when the sunlight comes through the east window. The light catches on the gold on the hand-printed wallpaper and sparkles through the room. It is a new home. It's only been here for 10 years, but we wanted it to have feel, and feel comes from things being used and worn and loved, and being slightly rough and slightly clunky and slightly polished just by hands.
So one of the things we've really enjoyed about living here, we have this most amazing soil, rich red volcanic soil you get out here, so you can pretty much grow anything. Even though it's cold country, you can actually have an amazing kind of garden. We grow lots of vegetables, so we've got a big veggie garden, and so we're very self-sufficient for food in lots of ways, but also there's lots of flowers, lots of dahlias, so they go a bit crazy and they multiply in the soil, so they're an amazing kind of boon that you get each year with all these flowers.
I simply love my studio. It is designed to be incredibly private and yet flooded with light. It is well insulated for sound and temperature and has a gorgeous view onto the veggie garden. It's large, it's 15 metres by about 5.5, 6 metres, and there's a mezzanine as well, so there's plenty of room to do stuff. And it was my painting studio for about 10 years, and then it suddenly morphed into a space that we needed for the distillery during COVID because we couldn't work elsewhere. So for the last few years it's been a distillery as well. I've been very, very lucky that my studio is here and I get to work from home a great deal. From a business perspective, it's an incredible place to be because we are so close to Trentham, Daylesford, Woodend, Kyneton and Melbourne. It's super convenient for every aspect of my professional life, but my internal life, it really meets as well.
One of the things we love about Lyonville is it's actually still really quiet here. We used to live in Daylesford and when we moved out here we just had this wonderful sense of how peaceful and tranquil it is out here. One of the things we really get to enjoy here is that the forest is just a minute down the road and then you get to go off and wander for hours on end if you want. And in fact there's a beautiful walking trail all the way to Trentham, so sometimes we'll wander off down to Trentham with the dogs and grab breakfast and it's just a beautiful way to spend a day.
This beautiful property really is a love letter to the arts and crafts movement. Everything has been so thoughtfully considered. As an agent, I get to see many properties, but none as special as this. It's just so unique.
It's been a home with lots of beautiful memories and it's been a wonderful place to live. This table we spend lots of hours around with friends and family and beautiful meals and lots of laughter and fun, and I'm really looking forward to somebody else being able to have their family here or whatever it is that they choose to do with the house, and we know that it's going to be loved by somebody else. For us it's time to downsize. Girls have left home and we're on to our next creative project. So we're pretty excited, but we're staying in Lyonville, so we'll be neighbours and that'll be lovely too.